styles because you are with them, or you see them in the hallways, or you hear the rumors of that's so-and-so, they're number one in this school, or the 9th grade. Fourth, different teachers. You'll have to set up your 9th grade set over here and your 9th grade set over there. You'll have to set up your AP good teachers over here and your AP there. You're going to have rumors about teachers that are good over here and teachers that are not so good over here for the same class. You lose these students will lose the advantage of having the opportunity to take these teachers by the classes they choose. They will not be able to go to the North better teacher than the South with the split that you have. I guess that's really about it, other than the transportation. You're definitely going to be set up with orchestra probably at the North. You'll be set up with tennis at the South. The travel time in itself already is causing students right now to be 5 to 10 minutes late here on the main campus for those that are having to travel to North to go to orchestra. But at least if you keep all the, I don't know if you are splitting up an orchestra room here and an orchestra room there, but I know definitely for tennis, it's just going to be on the south side. These students are coming in 5 to 10 minutes late into class. They're losing, the teachers I'm sure are annoyed, and at least as much of we can reduce that kind of activity, the better for the students, the better for the teachers. Otherwise they can't go into heavy lecturing if these students are having to do all this travel time. And you're going to have it no matter what, but at least I think you can reduce it by keeping 9th at one and have 10th at the other. But mainly, I think it's great to keep these kids bonded, they move together, and then they can graduate together.
Ms. Brown, your 2 minutes to play. Ms. Elias.
You know, I've never met the lady that just spoke, but I wish I'd have known her 3 years ago when I was addressing the school board 3 years ago about all of this. Thank you. Since we want to address the boundaries, what I would recommend is that you take that boundary line that you drew on Fox and Bennett and you just erase it. And you include that whole Lewisville area, like I've been saying for 3 years now, and you create one Lewisville High School. If anyone had asked anybody from the Lewisville area, way back when all these decisions were made, what we wanted, we would have, number one, said, we love our 9th grade campus, keep it. Don't do anything with that. That would have been our first comment. The second comment would have been, rebuild Lewisville High School. Okay, that was your afterthought. That's why it is important always to involve the community in decisions that are being made. It is so important because none of you up there, except for the ones that were recently elected, knew what was in the hearts of the Lewisville community. You didn't ask us. That was the number one biggest mistake. Erase that line, keep Lewisville High School one unified high school. If you have to, keep the 9th grade campus, make that a 10th grade campus. Not our number one choice. As we're rebuilding Lewisville High School, make it so it can house our 10th graders. Okay, because we do not want 3 separate campuses, 2 to 3, 4 miles apart. That's not what we want. You need to listen, you need to adapt, and you need to make changes. And those changes need to come before August of 2011. Thank you.
Ms. Young. Pat Young. Ms. Sarah Pray.
Well, I think you guys got the gist of what the community thinks. We're all standing united. I think it all has to do with unity of a community, and unity for our students. Please don't split them up. Don't make my daughter lose access to half of her friends. This is the hardest time in a student's life. High school is where you guys get shaped. Don't take away part of their support network. And, you know, and I think there's also some valid points as far as keeping the community involved. I know this is the second time that I have felt like decisions have been made affecting my student without the opportunity for us to speak up. The last time was when you guys took away camaraderie in elementary school, but, you know, that's fine. Anyway. But at any rate, I mean, there are some valid points here. The best thing to do is to keep our students together so that they can support each other. They love each other. Don't split them up. And, you know, when decisions like this are made, please keep us involved so we are united as a community instead of being looked at as adversaries. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Maynard?
Hi, I'm Roxanne Maynard, and I'm here for my daughter Madison Maynard, who's a 9th grader at Killow. And Mr. Plunkett, we love you. And we are sorry to hear that you're going into 10th grade. However, it would be nice if Madison could go to 10th grade with you, along with the rest of her classmates. We are on like the 10-house boundary of the border, or whatever you are doing with the splitting. But we're right there, 10 houses from the border. She went to Lakeland. She went to Huffines, DeLay, they're all up north, and now Madison's getting thrown with the South kids because we're 10 houses from the separation that y'all have done, your dividing line. She loves all the kids, it doesn't matter, she would be fine whatever, but most of her friends go to the North Campus, and I would like to keep her at North. No bad to you. We would love you, we love you. However, I would like my daughter to stay with her friends, and she would like to stay with her friends. And we heard there was a rumor that there could be a 9th grade campus and a 10th grade campus. So we were like, and all the kids, if you listen to the kids, which really who's important here are the kids, they were all like, 9th grade, yes, 10th grade, yes. They want to stay together. They want to be united. And you just got to talk to the kids because that's who's important here, are those children. And I don't know, I mean, we should have brought them because really they should be the ones talking because that's who's important.
We won't
And,
let them.
well, okay, you won't let them. Whatever. I'm speaking on behalf of my daughter. My daughter would love for 9th grade to be at Killow and 10th grade to be at South, and for the kids to stay together because to her, they are united and they are a team, they are a class, and they want to go forward together as a class. And thank you. And Mr. Plunkett, we love you.
Ms. Berry?
Mr. Tire, we have an exclusion ban,
No, we
Okay.
took cars from 6 up till 6:30, and then we extended it from 6:30 to 7. No, anyone is allowed to speak if they fill out a card.
Hi, my name is Jewel Berry. My son's name is Cornelius Cole. He is a freshman at Kilo. We are new to Lewisville. My son is extremely shy. He has spent from 5th grade up through his freshman year making friends. I encourage him to be a well-rounded student, to not only do well in school, but also get involved in extracurricular activities. He's committed himself to athletics and other various organizations. My son gets up in the morning at 6 a.m. He's usually not home till 7 p.m., still has chores, homework to do. And today he told me, Mom, I cannot imagine trying to do things at the South Campus, then getting bussed over to the main campus, then still having to do tutoring, come home, do homework, chores. He said the thought of it is exhausting. He said if there is any way possible for them to put us all together in one building with the same set of teachers, you know, being with my classmates, my teammates, I think it would make me feel so much better as a student athlete. And I just think that it'll help his morale and the students' morale who 99% of their friends are going to one campus and then they're going to the other campus. I had a parent who couldn't make it tonight. She is really considering leaving Lewisville, someone who my son played LFA all the way now up through 9th grade, considering leaving because her son's been split up with the boys that they were basically raised with. So I am asking you, begging, pleading you to not break up these kids, keep them together, make one campus 9th grade, the other campus 10th grade, just for the sake of our kids, please.
Miss Susan Arthur.
Most of the points I made tonight have already been addressed, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway. As most of you know, several times I've come before the board, a different board, and voiced my opposition to splitting LHS up into 3 different campuses. But now it seems to me that it's really an issue of mitigation of damages. What kind of damage is LISD going to do to the LHS zone, and so how can we best handle the damage that's going to be done? I know that tonight's about zoning, and so I would urge you to adopt the zoning, the attendance zone that you currently have the 9th graders at the current 9th grade campus, have the 10th graders at the South campus. I think that's really the only good option for us at this point. Hopefully, if you're able to build LHS main campus big enough to bring the 10th graders back, that would be great. Hedrick Middle School is in need of a new building. Maybe we could make the new campus a new Hedrick Middle School. I think that would be wonderful to modernize that campus for those kids, and it's a good option for using a building that costs a lot of money and really wasn't wanted by a lot of people in the community. So I hope that you will consider that plan, but I definitely think you should build LHS big enough to house 3 grades. To do anything else is to really do a disservice to the kids who go here and to all the families who've chosen to live here. We all know that 10th grade is an unusually difficult time in the lives of many students. It's a time when kids are getting old enough to drop out of school. It's a time whenever a lot of decisions are made that are going to affect those kids the rest of their lives. I think it's nice that y'all want to do special things for 10th graders, but I don't think you can do it at the expense of the 9th graders and all that's been accomplished there. I think Mr. Plunkett is a wonderful candidate to help shepherd those kids, those 10th graders, and to make sure that they don't fall by the wayside in terms of their education. That's about all that I have to say on that. I hope that you'll agree to at least have the plan for one 9th grade, one 10th grade for a couple of years, and then hopefully we'll have a main campus that can house everybody. I also wanted to express my concern that tonight's discussion began with a PowerPoint that showed how you guys were considering socioeconomic status and ESL, which is the language capabilities of students. And I would be interested to know, whenever you opened Flower Mound High School back in the 90s, if that discussion ever entered into it. If there was ever a discussion of trying to make that a more diverse place, where there's poor people and rich people going to school together, because that's something that I think is sorely lacking here. I was raised in a small town, and we had the rich and the poor go to school together. We don't really have that on the western side of the district. And I say western side, I mean LHS, Marcus, and Flower Mound. We don't have that here. So I thought it was interesting that we start our discussion of LHS zones with that presentation. And I wish we could have done some of that back when you opened the other schools. Thank you.
Miss Kathy Jackson.
Hi there, my name is Kathy Jackson, and for your information, I am from one of those schools from the ESL that you're talking about. I don't fit that criteria. My son goes to Lakeland Elementary right now. I resent the fact that I never got any information about the zoning, that I had to hear it from somebody else. My child is going to be going to high school soon. Also, here's my thing. My son at the age of 9 is in 4th grade. And by the time he gets to high school, he will have been to 3 different schools already. And we have never moved. Let me tell you my experience with LISD and the changing of the schools. When they built the new Lakeland Elementary School, by the way, I love. However, my son had to go to Lily Jackson, which is a preschool, and share with that. for his kinder and first grade. Then we had to go to second and to adjust to a big school of 870 kids for K through 5th, if you want those numbers. Now we are at least the 4th biggest elementary school. Let me tell you about the divisions, if you're going to change them. Those teachers at elementary at Lakeland, I applaud them along with Mr. Crockett, because they didn't have one school. They had 2 schools. Our PTA had to divide our time with 2 schools under one name. Our specials teachers had to divide their time. They had to travel in their own cars, their own money, and divide the time on all that. Ask them how difficult it was, along with everything else they have to do. Also, I have an issue because Fox, where it lays right now, my son goes to DeLay Middle School, go to DeLay Middle School. However, where that little corner is, he will have to go to the other side of the 3040, not knowing anybody because everybody was going to DeLay. Also, with the experience of last year when I complained about how they drew the boundaries, no one listened. They had already made their mind before the meeting came up. And I won't tell who, and because I think he's an idiot, but that's beside the point. Also, with DeLay, my issues with that, I will have a daughter eventually because she's in kindergarten. She will be going to DeLay, and I'll have to drive because I've seen busing. When they bus those students, they don't get home till 5:30 in the afternoon. I do not want my middle school child going that late. But how am I going to make it in time when middle school, high school start at 8:15, I'm going to have a sophomore, and I'm going to have to get them all the way up to 3040. And then also by 8:45, get my child to middle school. They will be late. There's no way humanly possible you can get from one end to the other in 30 minutes. Have y'all thought of that?
Ms. Jackson, your 3 minutes is up.
Okay.
Ms. Tina Adams.
Hi, I addressed this board last year about the same thing, rezoning. My child was at Lakeland and we had to move. I made the decision because you guys didn't listen about where we want our kids to go. The kids were split up. My child's best friend is going to another middle school because you didn't want to send them all to one school. Now you're wanting to split them up again, and this is the same girl that's at DeLay. She's going to be split up again with all of her friends. You need to keep these kids together. I was lucky enough to go to a small school and stayed with my classmates from kindergarten to 12th grade. I feel sorry for the people that are homeowners and are stuck where they're at and cannot move. I moved the last time, but how many times do you want me to move to keep my kids in the school that I want them to go to? How many times do I have to move? This rezoning is crazy. It's crazy. I can't even move to keep the kids where I want them. I've got one in high school in 10th grade that went to 9th grade, which is an excellent school. I love it. I love DeLay. It's great. But the rezoning is crazy. I don't understand who's up there deciding and drawing lines. Maybe we need to get another crayon.
Miss Stephanie Boyd.
Hi, I am a mother of 4 children, all who have or will go through the LASD school system here, hopefully. I have a daughter that graduated from here a few years ago. There was a point in her high school career where we had made a decision to possibly move from this school. I think this was her sophomore year. She begged me and my husband not to move. And she said the reason she didn't want to move was because of the fighting farmer pride that was within this school. She went on to to be the student body president, class president of 3,700 students that year. And I will tell you, it was a very difficult year for those kids that year. And she led them very well. I will say, as a mom, I was proud. But let me tell you what, she got that because of the leadership and the leadership training that she got within this school. And so the reason why I'm bringing up this Farmer Pride is because people within families and communities feel safer and more secure with tradition. It is a proven fact that tradition helps families feel closer. Our community is supposed to be our family. This is not a family situation. This is a situation that will divide this community, divide this family. How can we have unity and how can we have traditions that we've been so proud of for over 100 years if we have 3 different campuses? I understand that this has been set, supposedly. Well, it cannot be set, because we have to speak up. I've heard so many people say, I'm not going to even go to that, because if I say anything, they won't listen. My voice won't be heard. Well, I think it's time that Lewisville residents make sure that we're heard, and that you guys listen to us. And that's why we have these people on the board now. I could not let my daughter down as a leader of this school for the student body and not stand up here and represent the alumni that were here. Those siblings of hers love this school because of the experience that she had here, okay? They want to have that same experience. They don't want to be divided. And so let them be together. Let them have that unity. Let them build traditions and memories. High school can be terrible. We all know that. We've been through it. We hated it. We would never want to go back, right? But let them have the little bit of happiness that it brings them of having prom together, or being on the same sports team together, or having amazing, amazing student body council leaders. We have an amazing student council program here. They are amazing, amazing. And I have seen kids' lives turned around because of the leadership and the teachers in that program and the kids in there that want to do better for the students. So my vote is definitely to leave it as it is. Well, that's not what I mean to say. If we have to do something different, then 9th grade there, 10th grade there.
That was our last card for this evening. Thank you all for coming out and voicing your opinion. This public hearing is adjourned.